What's this?
You want to beat Corin?
You bet I do.
Want to beat the others? Yeah. Your challenge this week is...
Who can throw the most paper balls into a bin?
You must stand 2 metres from the bin. You should have practiced this a lot by now.
Make sure your paper is all old and to be recycled.
You only have 20 seconds.
So get timing.
Let's do this.
3, 2, 1, go! Two, one, stop.
Feeling confident.
Hi KBC Kids, I'm Mike. Going to continue the story this week of Joseph. Steph started this story with us last week, you might remember. And she told us about Joseph getting the amazing coat, a gift from his father. That annoyed Joseph's brothers. Joseph made it much worse by telling his brothers that he was going to rule over them all. They got so annoyed, they beat him up and they sold him as a slave. And our story continues this week. Joseph gets taken away to Egypt, a faraway land, and he's sold to a man called Potiphar. Potiphar's a very important soldier in Egypt. Joseph does well for Potiphar. Potiphar's very pleased with the work that Joseph has done for him. God is with Joseph in this period. Unfortunately, a bad bit happens. Potiphar's wife falls out with Joseph, tells lots of lies to Potiphar about what Joseph's done, and Potiphar gets Joseph thrown into prison. Things are not going well in Joseph's life. In prison, even there, God is with Joseph. Joseph does well in prison, and the warder, the prison guard, puts Joseph in charge of the prison. When Joseph's in prison, he meets 2 men. Both have been very important people for Egypt's king, who's called the Pharaoh. One is the cupbearer, the man who's responsible for giving the Pharaoh his drinks, and the other is the baker, the man who makes his food. They've both fallen out with Pharaoh and been put in prison. In prison, both of them have dreams. Joseph, who's clearly still walking very closely with God, is able to interpret the dreams. It's good news for the cupbearer. He's going to be released from prison and given his job back. It's bad news for the baker. He's going to be taken out of prison and killed. And that's what happens. Now, why is this important? It's important because 2 years later, the Pharaoh himself has some weird dreams. He dreams about some lovely looking cows who get eaten up by some skinny, horrible looking cows who have come out the river. None of Pharaoh's officials or wise people can actually tell Pharaoh what these dreams mean. And then the cupbearer remembers Joseph. He'd forgotten about him right up to that point, and said, well, actually, I know someone who can interpret dreams. And Joseph is brought out of prison to come and speak to Pharaoh. And he tells Pharaoh what those dreams mean. There were 7 of these cows. They're good-looking cows. And they are 7 years when Egypt is going to have lots of food. And the skinny, horrible cows are 7 bad years of famine, as we call it, when the land won't produce any food. And Joseph tells Pharaoh he's got to prepare now for those bad years. In the good years, he says, store up the food, and then you'll have something for when the bad years come. Pharaoh thinks this is a good idea. He needs someone to be in charge. And who does he think could be in charge? Well, Joseph has proved himself wise. God has worked in Joseph's life. He's been faithful to him. He's worked out his plan and purpose. And Joseph is given the job to oversee all of that storage of the food. He becomes one of the most important people in the whole of Egypt. Joseph really has had some incredibly hard times, but God has been faithful to him and worked out his plan in his life. Let's have a look at a little video, and it'll help us just to recap that story.
The Faithful Hall of Fame, Joseph. This is Joseph, who was the son of Israel and Rachel. He was his father's favorite, so his brothers hated him and sold him into slavery. You see, Joseph was taken to Egypt, and Potiphar, one of the Pharaoh's officials, bought him for his household. God was with Joseph, and he did well in Potiphar's house. Potiphar saw that God made everything Joseph did a success. So he put Joseph in charge of his whole house. And God blessed Potiphar's house because of this. Potiphar's wife saw how well Joseph was doing in the house, and she wanted to make him do bad things. Joseph ran away from her because he wanted nothing to do with someone who would try to make him do the wrong thing. This made Potiphar's wife angry, and she wanted to be rid of Joseph. So she lied and made Potiphar believe that Joseph had done the bad things that she wanted him to do. Potiphar burned with anger against Joseph and sent him to prison. While Joseph was in prison, again, he did well, and the warden soon made him responsible for all that was done there. God was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did. When 2 full years had passed, Pharaoh was having unsettling dreams. Pharaoh did not understand his dreams, so he sent for Joseph. Pharaoh asked Joseph to tell him the meaning of his dreams. With God's help, Joseph told Pharaoh that the dreams told of what could come in the future, and he explained all the dreams to the Pharaoh. Pharaoh believed that what Joseph was saying was true. He trusted Joseph as a wise man, and he put him in charge of the land of Egypt, of Pharaoh's palace, and of all his people.
Hi, I'm Gillian. That was great, wasn't it? Joseph is one of my favourite stories from the Bible. So many exciting and different things happen in it, and it was great to hear the next part of the story. One of the amazing things about the story of Joseph is that even though lots of difficult things happen to Joseph, God works it all out for his plan. In the story we heard there, some difficult things did happen to Joseph, and the Bible tells us that even those who love God like Joseph did, difficult things still happen. But the amazing thing is that God has a plan and is working out everything for his good. Sometimes though, we have to wait for that plan, and waiting is hard. If you think back to your last birthday, you'll remember what waiting's like. Do you remember waiting to find out what presents you were going to get, if you were going to get what you wanted, or what you were going to do to celebrate your birthday? But the Bible tells us that while we are waiting, God is working all the time, and that we can trust him, and that he loves us, and he's working everything out for us. So that's the amazing thing about the Joseph story. And as you go into next week, whether you're at school or nursery, remember that God always is with you. We can trust him, he loves you, and that he's working out everything for your good. Have a great week and hope to see you back next week for the next part of the Joseph story. Bye for now.
So we're going to sing Love the Lord Your God all the way through, just so we can re-jog our memories and sing the song all the way through so we know the words. And then Ailey Horn and Steph are going to join us, and they're going to sing they're going to sing the same song, but they're going to join in a little bit later than me and than us. Okay, so Ailey's going to come in first, and then Steph is going to come in after her, and it should sound really cool. Should sound really nice. So what your challenge is at home is to find 2 other people, okay? It could be your brother or sister, it could be your mum and dad, it could be anyone who lives in your house, okay? Find 2 other people and sing this song with them. So one person joins me, one person joins Ailey Horn, and one person joins Steph. And we're all going to sing together. Remember the tick, 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 boom, right in the middle, okay? I want you to shout that out as loud as you can. But now, I'm going to be joined, I think, by Ailey and Steph, am I right? God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, and love of all mankind as you would love yourself, and love
The Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind.
tick, tick, tick,
Love
boom.
all mankind as you would love yourself, and
We've got
the Lord your God with all your heart. Tick, 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 boom, and all your soul and mind, and love all mankind. We've got your love, your heart, we've got all your soul, your mind, tick, 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 boom, and all mankind as you would love yourself, and the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind.
tick, tick, tick,
Love
boom.
all mankind as you would love yourself, and we've got the Lord your God with all